afternoon, and welcome to Our World, Our World Power Show. Here with Lady Pauline and my co-host, Mr. Glenn Greenwich, the Honorable Mayor of Southern Boulevard. Hi, Glenn. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm great. How you doing, Lady P?
I'm doing good. Did you know today that our show is sponsored by the Chocolate Loft?
Absolutely. And the Chocolate Loft is located
At 113-10 Southern Boulevard in Jamaica, Queens.
And what's the address?
The
I mean the telephone
number is 929-504-9200. And you can go there for private parties, baby showers, weddings, whatever. I've been there. I had a wonderful experience. So please don't forget to check out the Chocolate Loft right here in Jamaica, Queens at 11310 Southern Boulevard, Jamaica, Queens.
Excellent, excellent. And now I want to introduce you to our special guest today. Naoki Okai is a performer, and he does various events, and we want to welcome you to the show today.
Thank you
Welcome.
so much, Glenn.
So we want to hear about all of the great things you're doing. You're doing a tour and some other things on YouTube and what have you. So tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're up to.
Yes. Actually, I've been a professional tour guide for 5 years now, and and it just dawned on me that there's nobody who's showcasing the world borough where we live, Queens, right here.
Of course.
And I just said, you know what? People just have this perception that we're common, right?
Yes.
And I am not going to let that happen.
Okay.
And I'm just going to showcase a finest and best of our borough, and just show it to the world that what we got to showcase right here.
Well, where have you been tour guiding? What communities have you been tour guiding in?
Yes, actually, I run tours in Soho, Little Italy, Chinatown, as well as out of state, Washington, D.C., Boston, Philadelphia, even Niagara Falls.
No kidding. Oh, some great places there. Okay. And where do you go in Boston? I used to live in New Hampshire.
Okay, so actually we go to the town next door, Cambridge.
Sure.
So people can say I went to Harvard.
Yes.
Right?
Very good.
Then we take the Freedom Trail tour.
Yes.
And
that's
show
very
the
nice.
historical part of Boston. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. And then what do you do down in Washington?
Washington, D.C., we show them, of course, the president's executive residence, White House, Capitol, all the good stuff. Yeah.
So I don't know if you know this, but I love Chinatown.
Okay.
Chinatown is one of my favorite places. I've been going forever.
Okay.
Forever, since a little kid.
Okay.
So what do you feature down in Chinatown?
So Chinatown, we introduce the history of how the Chinese emigrated to this country, and how a gentleman named Ken became the first entrepreneur, opened up his own business, and the rest is history. They say that you can find any kind of business in Chinatown right now.
Yeah, you certainly can.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you something because we were talking. It was something that's really funny. I was asking you, okay, how did you have to be licensed to be a tour guide? And because I see a lot of people just, handing out stuff on 42nd Street, and you told me something very interesting. Could you please tell me what you told me?
Absolutely. It started in the 1800s when Soho was a red light district, and they were pimps posing as tour guides,
I told you.
suggesting that we will take you to show you the sights, and to regulate the pimps from the actual tour guides. That the city of New York started to issue licenses, and you had to go through background checks. And actually, nowadays you have to answer a 150 question test and pass the test to be licensed to run a tour guide.
No kidding.
Yeah,
Okay,
I found
makes
that.
sense.
I love that.
Well, it's always so amazing how things occur in New York, and they just kind of evolve. So I want to go back to Chinatown. So again, being one of my favorite places, do you guys also feature some of the Chinese medicine places that have the herb shops, and so on and so forth?
Well, we walk along Mott Street, which
Sure.
which is like the main street
Right.
of Chinatown,
Yeah.
and we point out some of the herb stores that we walk past.
In fact, I go to that one
Oh, yeah?
on Mott, right?
Okay.
Yes, yeah, in the middle of the block
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
left-hand side. Yeah, sure, absolutely. It's Chinese medicine is so fascinating to me because you're really able to use herbs and different roots, and you boil them and you get healing. So I mean, it's such a powerful way to help heal your body.
Oh, it's interesting you mentioned that we didn't have a chance to talk about it. Although I'm a Japanese, I'm a Chinese martial arts practitioner.
Oh, are you?
Yes, I am. Yes, I've
Okay.
been practicing for over 23 years now.
Okay.
Yes.
And what's the discipline?
It's called Northern Style Kung Fu,
Oh, Northern
Yes.
Style Kung Fu. Okay.
specifically Baji Chuan. I mean, I can talk about martial arts all day if you like. Yeah.
Well, it's something about knowing how to defend yourself when needed. You don't have to have it, but there are times when it's appropriate to have that. I'm sure as a tour guide, sometimes you run across some unsavory people, so it's good to have those
Well,
those
fortunately,
skills.
not yet. But it's how you carry yourself and the sense danger before it happens.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. I wanted also to mention about Queens,
Yeah.
my beloved city that I live, and I love it for the diversity. Please tell me, what type of tours will you be taking people on in Queens?
Absolutely. That Queens, that we are taking for granted. Actually, the people who actually live here take us for granted.
Yeah.
So I just want to conduct a primer, shall we say, over the best places of Queens that we have. We start at the Willis Point City Field.
Okay.
And take a short walk to the Unisphere.
Okay.
Yeah. And talk about the history of Queens, about the New York sports teams, a little bit of tennis, and about the World Fair that happened in 1964, and just kind of acclimate the visitors with the history of Queens. Then we are going to actually get on the 7 train.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're gonna do a subway?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Yeah,
Very
we're gonna get on the International Express and get off at 74th Street, Jackson Heights.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm going to take the guests to my favorite Mexican restaurants and eat some authentic Mexican tacos.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Right.
Now, what about Southeast Queens? Are you going to come? Got any plans to come out here? Because we've got some great historical places. We've got the King Manor Museum, which
Yes.
is right here on Jamaica Avenue between 153rd and 150th Street, which is pretty amazing. And then, I'm going to blow up my church a little bit, but the Grace Episcopal Church
Okay.
is the second oldest church in the state.
Oh, wow.
And it's got tombstones and what have you going back to the 1700s.
Wow.
So that's also in the next block.
Absolutely.
And then we've got the Margarite Pizzeria, which has got to be, 1960s or so.
Okay.
Has been around. And we've got a couple other landmarks. We actually have the clock
Okay.
on Union Hall.
Yes, yes.
Which is actually being renovated because it wasn't working for about 10 years now. But that's also a landmark. And then
J-Cal?
J-Cal
Yeah, I told you about
and J-Pac.
J-Pac.
J-Pac specifically on 153rd has been renovated. It was an old church that the inside have been completely renovated, and now it's a artsy place, so you can do book readings, poetry readings. You can have concerts there. There have been a couple concerts and plays, and what have you. And of course, the politicians use that to make their announcements, or if they're going to have a public. So there's a lot of interesting things here in this section of Queens. But as you said, Queens has got so many things available to us, and we've, of course, we've got our own Chinatown, which is not quite as big and as famous as Manhattan Chinatown, but we certainly, it's more of Asian because we've got Chinese, we've got Korean, and we've got Thai, all part of our little Flushing area, which has been blossoming and blooming.
And don't forget, we got our own Queens radio station, WGJS Radio, right here in the heart of Southeast Queens. So, I'm glad you stopped in and you paid us a visit. For those of you who don't know, we're right down the block from the Long Island Railroad. We're also near the air train. So if you're coming from whatever place you're coming from,
Manhattan, the Bronx, wherever you're coming from.
We're right here in the heart of in the city, WGJS, right?
Absolutely.
Yes, so don't forget to stop in, and don't forget to bring people on tours here, because that's what we want. And also another place for a restaurant that I love is The Door and Sangria's down the block. Sangria's down the block on Sutphin Boulevard.
We actually have some pretty great restaurants. Sangria's on 97th Avenue and Sutphin Boulevard, and The Door is on Guy Brewer and what is that? Foch. And Foch, which is another restaurant. We featured a couple of weeks ago Panache, which is in Rosedale. Very nice upscale restaurant. They're now just doing catering because of the pandemic, but and the Long Island Railroad. Actually, the building at the corner of Sutphin and Archer is actually over 100 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that complex where you can buy the tickets from is actually 100 years old, and of course we've got the air train that's there as well, and of course two subway lines. So we've got the J train and the Z train that stop there. So we've got, and actually that's the 4th largest transportation hub in North America. So you've got 42nd Penn Station and 42nd Street. Then you've got Toronto.
Okay.
And then you've got Jamaica Center.
Oh, wow.
So we've got quite a few landmarks right here in Southeast Queens, right here in South Jamaica.
And you know what I said, Glenn, to I let him know about your bid.
Oh, the Business Improvement District.
Business Improvement District, and also the Jamaica bid.
Yeah.
And the 165th Street bid.
Yeah.
So I let him know that he needs to get in contact with them and get on their roster, their book roster, as far as being a tour guide.
And letting people know. Yeah.
That's a great idea. Thank you.
But right now we have to go for commercial break. You know how it is. We got to pay those bills.
All right.
And we'll be right back.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. Now I'm anything but lonely.
We have this deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with turtle is a perfect day.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer.
I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a little bit of a lot of things.
But they're all pure
love.
We're here in the South Bronx at Children's Health Fund's very first program site, and we're here to celebrate this new partnership and to have a look at the services being provided. Our mission is really very simple. We want to ensure the highest quality healthcare reaches children living in poverty. Access to healthcare is what we do, and we go the extra mile to make sure it happens. And going the extra mile means that we bring our mobile clinics right to where kids live, where they learn, where they play, and we do that in a very community integrated and oriented way.
This is actually a room where the patients are screened by the providers. You could talk to the doctor about various conditions or what it is exactly that you need, just like you would do at your regular physical. The doctor can order certain blood tests to be done from here. They can order certain screenings. They can order referrals for the patient to see specialists if they needed to. They can also order nutrition, mental health, whatever it is that the patient needs, just like at a regular physician's office.
We do more than just medical care. So when we talk about comprehensive services, we obviously have providers, nurse practitioners, and doctors doing basic primary care, but so often a patient comes in complaining about one issue, and then we find out there's so many other issues. So we really see ourselves as kind of a one-stop shopping to really help this family succeed.
Innovation at Children's Health Fund started from day one. We were the pioneers of the medical home house call, and this partnership with Henry Schein is going to continue that innovation. Together, creative problem solving, getting to places where we couldn't go alone, getting there together, and making sure kids have access to high quality care that they need. That's really where we're going together.
Henry Schein is really helping help happen by delivering products and services and solutions that providers need throughout the U.S. every single day. Children's Health Fund and their IDN affiliates are helping help happen by delivering care to the most needy of populations. So we're both delivering. One's delivering products and the other one's delivering care.
To see the partnership come together, the strategies that we've worked on over the last year, culminate to this morning, and getting a chance to walk on the mobile clinic and get a tour of it and find out that it actually has some of the services that a primary care physician's office has. And so to know that that level of care is going to go to the underserved, and specifically in this area to children in need, is just a fantastic time for both organizations.
When I look to the future, I see a future together with Henry Schein and Children's Health Fund. We took a while to get to this point. We've worked together, we've ideated together, we've created together. And from this foundation, the future is very bright. I can see us reaching more kids with more services in more places, not only over the next 4 years, but maybe the next 40.
And welcome back. Don't forget, today's episode is being sponsored by the Chocolate Loft, located at 113-10 Sufton Boulevard, Jamaica, New York. And they can be reached at 929-504-9200. And they can do any kind of private events for you, weddings, bar mitzvahs, coming out, Sweet 16, whatever social events that you would like to have. So please check out our sponsor, Chocolate Loft. Now, back to Nakoi.
So let me make your life easier.
Yes.
And just call me Okai.
Okay. Absolutely. So, so what's next for you? So you're doing these tours. You're going to be now doing some of them virtually as well?
Virtually no, because I feel that especially with the pandemic, where people has been forced to keep a distance and not being able to travel, visit these locations, that to get to really know a culture that's not familiar to you, you have to physically be there.
Okay.
So I'm not going to conduct this virtually, and that's very important to me. I need to see people's eyes and really get, have them breathe the air of Queens and smell the air, enjoy the food, and physically actually see that beautiful panoramic view.
Yeah, it is. It is very panoramic. Sure.
And can you tell me how many people will be allowed on your tours, and how much the tours cost?
So yes, let me just finish the course from Jackson Heights. So we're going to do a little shopping as well. We're going to visit Little India.
Oh, good.
Yes,
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect.
And maybe buy a little Ganesha statue.
Sure,
right?
sure.
And then we're going to get back on the 7 train again and go visit Long Island City.
Okay.
And Gantry Plaza State Park.
Okay.
Where I believe from there is the best, most beautiful panoramic view of Manhattan anywhere.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I oftentimes take people when I'm just showing them around
Yeah.
in a car. I'll take them across the 59th Street Bridge to see that view, and it's it is spectacular.
Yes.
I think it's probably one of the best views of the Manhattan skyline that you could actually have.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah. I get it. Cool.
And I like to keep the parties all small so we get to know each other, become friends. So 10 people tops.
10 people.
Yeah,
Okay.
10 people tops.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, when you come and so you stop there. Is that your last stop, or?
Yeah, that's going to be my last stop. And if the group wants to dig further, let's just say, you know what, I want you to do a music tour. I want to go to Louis Armstrong House, or can you do a foodie tour? Can you take me to Astoria and Flushing? Yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll customize a tour just for certain groups.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. That sounds like so much fun because I keep hearing different numbers, but they say that there are over 80 languages spoken in Queens. Is that
160 there?
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Thank you.
160, huh? Wow.
I didn't even know there's 160 languages.
I know, on the planet, right?
Oh my gosh, I'm really behind the times.
Well, I knew there were a lot, and so those are languages, and you've got to. I can't even imagine how many different food cuisines that are available, given all of the different cultures that are here in Queens. So I mean, you could really customize a whole lot of different tours, and we actually had a guy on, Drew Kerr, and he was actually visiting Queens restaurants, and doing a feature with them around the chefs for the different restaurants. So I thought it was quite interesting, and he was on the show, talked about all the different things that he was doing. So that might be also another way for you to kind of check out some of the restaurants around Queens as well.
Absolutely. And what's amazing about Queens is that in Manhattan, shall we say, that the food is catered toward the visitors, shall we say, or the people who's not from that, who doesn't have that ethnical background.
Right.
But the restaurants in Queens are catered to the people who's actually from that area, from that country.
Absolutely.
So you get the real deal here.
Yeah, you really do. In fact, we've got the corridor here on Hillside Avenue, probably from about Parsons up to about 175th or so, and it's a huge Bangladesh community.
Okay.
And all of the restaurants cater, and you see the Bangladesh actually come out and come to that particular cuisines. And it's interesting, the sangria that Lady Pauline talked about earlier, and O Lavador are two Portuguese restaurants that cater to the Portuguese in this section of Queens.
Oh, wow.
So there's actually a Catholic church that has a service in Portuguese right in the neighborhood. So
wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, so it's just little idiosyncrasies.
It's so rich. It's very rich. It's a very rich community, and there's so much to offer. One of the things I want to mention, you mentioned the Airbnb platform. So could you tell me a little bit about that? And again, how can people book your tours?
Oh, great question. Thank you. So Airbnb, people just assume that it's a room sharing platform where you can, or let's say a host can rent out a spare room to invite guests, et cetera, et cetera. Actually, the past few years, Airbnb has been offering experiences for a person like myself who can offer a tour of a certain locale, provide expertise in the area, or even cooking class if you are a great, if you can make great pasta, or a basket, et cetera, whatever skills that you have to offer, as long as you have the requirements, you pass the requirements, that you can offer that experience and utilize that Airbnb platform.
Really? Didn't know that.
Wow.
Okay. And Netflix. You were doing some things with Netflix, right?
So yes, I am. I create subtitles for English films. I create subtitles into Japanese,
Okay.
Yeah, and I've done several interesting work, such as what was the last one I did? I did a Quincy Jones documentary.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
yes.
Okay.
One of the person that I respect so much, and I did. What did I do?
But clearly you're into music.
Yes. Yes.
Quincy Jones, right?
Yes. Actually, I did a documentary about Dr. Dre.
Oh,
Yes.
Dr. Dre too.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And I hear that your wife is very talented.
Yes, actually I fell for her voice. She is a singer. She's a vocalist as well as a pianist, and we do produce music. Yes.
Okay. And she does jazz, you said, or a variety of music.
She sings standard jazz, but we've been creating original stuff. We like to call it city pop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, we actually have some space on our radio show, so if you guys wanted to feature some of your music, we'll invite you.
If you want, allow us to put her music on
Yeah.
Spotify.
Yes, most
Yeah,
definitely.
absolutely.
Oh, we would love that.
Yeah, that would be wonderful.
Yeah.
That would be wonderful.
And when the jazz program starts up again,
Right. Yeah.
hopefully soon.
We're down on the Air Train Jazz was one of the things that Greg Mays from A Better Jamaica and myself coordinated. And right in the Air Train terminal on the second floor, we were doing jazz on Thursday nights. And we've done it for about four or five seasons in a row. And of course, the pandemic kind of put a damper on it, but we're looking to work with Port Authority again. And so maybe we can have your wife, lovely wife, come out and be part of that, part of the entertainment that we provide for the people that are passing through the air train and the Long Island Railroad and the subway train station.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Actually, I checked it out when you just started 5 years ago, and it's a great way to welcome visitors coming into
it is.
City, yeah.
It
from
really
JFK,
is.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And on the walls, you see all the musicians and stuff.
The names.
The
some of them.
names, yeah. And it's very nice to the eye.
Yes, yeah.
Nice welcoming. I'd like to take this time to say you was listening to Our World on the OurWorldMediaNetwork.com. Our World Media consists of WGJSRadio.com. So please don't forget to check us out on Facebook.com, Our World Media #1.
Now, just before we go, again, how can people reach you and get a tour from you?
Yes. So just go to Airbnb.com, hit experience, and punch in from Queens with Love, and it will take you to our page, and you can register right there.
Okay.
Oh,
Great.
That's awesome. That is really awesome. And again, I would like to thank the Chocolate Loft for sponsoring Our World, Our Power show. And thank you, my guests, my lovely guests, for being here. And hopefully we'll be able to do some things together for the future.
It was my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes. You've been listening to Our World, Our Power here with Lady Pauline and the Honorable Mayor of Sutton Boulevard, Mr. Glenn Greenwich. Glenn, you didn't tell the people how they can reach you.
Oh, well, before I tell them that, I want to let them know that Tuesday the 23rd, we're going to be doing a Thanksgiving turkey giveaway. Don't have the time yet. We'll announce it next week. But we're setting that up, and that'll be part of Sutton Boulevard Business Improvement District. And in December, we'll be working with one of the homeless shelters. So we'll be collecting Pampers and toys and books, any kind of educational toys and books especially, come out. And we're going to be setting up a time when we can deliver those goods to them. Normally, pre-pandemic, we'd actually serve them a hot catered meal from G's Jamaican restaurant down the street. But because of the pandemic, we'll just be dropping off some things for them to be distributed. So please check us out at Sutton Boulevard Business Improvement District, 718-291-2110.
And where will we be giving out this food for Thanksgiving at?
right downstairs from where we're located.
Yeah, at WGJS Radio. Can you believe it?
Yes.
Well, WGJS Radio and the Southern Bid will be collaborating this wonderful Thanksgiving feast. So please don't forget to come out and check us out. And I'll even be very nice and sign some autographs.
Oh.
Yeah. So don't forget also to listen to us every Saturday here on WGJS and our World Media Network. Thank you all for listening. Catch you all next week. Same time, same place.